So based on this, right, how do we integrate it into something that's tangible and practical? It is when now, imagine our offer. But ultimately, it's all about presenting the offer. Like some of you guys are still at the offer stage, and that's okay. Not knowing how to sell just that. But remember, it's not about, oh, I'm going to sell them a book. I'm going to sell them a supplement. I'm going to sell them a course, a training, a mastermind, right? It is about now, if this is all different results, how does this become part of my offer to help them fulfill or at least, work towards this result?
If you currently have an offer and it currently sucks because nobody's buying it, then this video is for you. By the end of this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what are the different elements that is absolutely required if you wanna be able to have your audience to finally understand and appreciate what it is that you do, what it is that you offer, and the different ingredients that is crucial in order to make it work. Let's begin.
All right, welcome everybody to Implementation Hour. It's good to see you guys. Today's Implementation Hour is going to be very unique. It's based on something I've never really covered before, even though the overall topic has been covered multiple times. But today you're going to be able to see the different nuances that will really make all the difference when it comes to making offers. So as you're new to this, first of all, Yabao is very excited to join us here today. By the end of this session, you're going to be able to see what are the different ingredients you should have in your offer that significantly increases the perceived value of it all. Today's goal is about presenting your godfather offer. Okay, so now what do I mean by presenting your godfather offer? You see, last week, one of the things that we talked about, or rather the last implementation hour that we did, we talked about what makes the creation or crafting of a good offer. And if you missed the last implementation hour last month, basically Godfather offers, I call it Godfather because based on the movie Godfather, it's about making an offer that your audiences can't refuse, right? And that's based on the movie The Godfather. And by the end of this short session, you're gonna see why just implementing a few of these different ingredients in your offer is going to allow your audience to understand that result that makes it a no-brainer. And I'm going to break it down for you in your market and how you should be thinking about it. Now we're going to go one step further and we're going to be thinking about, well, how do we break that down into bite-sized, tangible pieces for you to work on? Okay, so what we're going to do is, if we understand that our goal is about result and transformation, and to show our audience that this is the destination that we're going together, right? After you hire us, after you work with us, after you consume our supplements, after you join our training, after you are a part of our mastermind, whatever it might be, right? If the goal is that, the next thing we should be doing then is we want to think about, well, how do we break it down into something that is listed or visual? When they see that thing, it's like, I get it now. In order to reach this destination and this result, these are the 5, 7, 9 things that's going to happen for me. The problem most offers is most marketers are unable to show the audience how to measure and track and make it something that is tangible. And when something is not tangible, it's very hard to relate to the result. So for example, and when something's not tangible and you can't relate to the result, it's even harder to see the ROI of that. Okay, I want you to remember that. If something's not tangible, it's very hard to see the ROI. So for example, okay, Jean has got an amazing result, which is to unleash the superwoman in you. That is an amazing result, okay, for the right target audience. Now the problem with that is, I don't know what is the ROI of being a superwoman. Like, how do I think about, well, what does it mean if I were to break it down, right? So it is a great hook, and therefore the next thing we want to be able to do is we want to be able to, like, what is the breakdown of that and how do we make it tangible? Okay, so same thing, like, golf better without pain. Like, what does it mean specifically to golf better? Is it the technique? Is it the range of the drive? I will come to that a little bit more in more detail, right? But I just want you to notice, like, the initial result. Now, you could have something that's intangible. Intangible doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that we want to be able to link it with tangible stuff as well. This means that the core focus, okay, is I first want to be able to show you a very clear-cut plan on what does it increase or what does it decrease. Okay, now here's what I mean. For implementation hour, what I would like all of you to do right now is take out a pen or piece of paper or a Microsoft Word file. And what I would like you to do is I would like you to just divide it into two things. Okay, now I promise you, if you do this exercise, it's going to really help you get clarity towards improving your offer and making your audience really understand the value of what it is that you do. Okay, so let's break it down, into two sides. Okay, and on the left, you're going to write the word increase. Okay, on the right, it's the word decrease. Right, so increase and decrease. Now, when it comes to all offers, okay, so let me show you what that might look like. Okay, so I'm just putting up Microsoft Word. I'm just gonna insert a table, and maybe I'm just gonna put a 2 times 8 table. Okay, so I'm gonna type in increase, decrease. Now, the first thing I'd like you to think about is, okay, we want to be able, what makes a good offer that people can't refuse is when we can show them they get more of something or an outcome or a result that they want. So the first thing I'd like you to think about is, okay, what is it helping my audience get more of? Okay, so is it leads? Is it clients? Is it more walk-ins into your store? Is it more confidence? Right? It's going to increase something. So what I'd like you to do first is I'd like you to just think about all of the different things it increases for your target audience. So based on what you guys mentioned off the cuff, right? So I would like you to just write down as many as possible that you feel is related to your audience. Okay, and just, there's no limit to this. Okay, you just keep going. And I would like you to take maybe, this should be a fast thing. Okay, this is like a 20-second thing. Okay, do that right now. And then as with all implementation hours, I will coach you guys on how to improve it. Okay, so just do that quickly for now. And while you guys are doing that, I will randomly go through the room. Okay, so Heather Cole, it's good to see you here. I'm going to unmute you right now and walk us through what is a couple of things that you wrote down. Go ahead.
So I wrote down communication, speed of projects, return on analytic investment, confidence.
Okay, good. Okay, let's do one more. I'll come back to you later. Okay, Dayan, what did you write down in terms of what it's going to help your audience increase? What are you going to get more of?
More time, more confidence, more clarity, more efficiency, productivity, more money, peace, motivation, more leads, more clients, better communications, determination, and so forth.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'd like you to notice what they mentioned, right? Now, what they mentioned, typically, there's two different categories, okay? There's the tangible and intangible, and there's the measurable and extremely hard to measure, right? So for example, this would be like increase in confidence. How do you tell that after working with me for the week or for the 90 days, how do you track increase in confidence? So same thing, like productivity, increase in productivity. If you think about how do you track that, you could say, well, after you work with us, after your content, social media team works with us, right? Rather than having 5 people to manage your entire social media strategy, you need now 1 person that does the same exact thing. Or it could be, if your content creation team is currently coming up with 3 articles a day, they'll be able to come up with 30. Okay, I'd like you to think about first just categorizing it into measurable, not measurable, tangible or intangible. Just go ahead and do that right now. Just put it, so that maybe number 1, if it's trackable and measurable, and number 2, if it isn't, or if you feel that it isn't. Now that number might change as we go deeper, but just for now, put a number down next to it. Whatever it is, whether you think it's trackable, guys, not the number over here. That you guys should have a whole list of things. Okay, so if you've got 5 things, put a number each next to each of those 5 things to be able to see whether it is trackable or not trackable. Okay, so based on this, okay, after you guys have done this first part, here's what we are going to do next. Okay, so the example I'll give you guys, right, I'll just use weight loss right now, and then you can see how you can improve on your end. Okay, so let's take weight loss. A lot of times when people say, oh, so you have a coaching program, oh, so you have a training, oh, so you sell supplements, oh, so you are a coach, what do you help your audience do? Oh, help them lose weight. Now, and again, here's how most people would sell it, right? If they are in the weight loss industry, if they're a coach, they'll say, I help people lose weight. Okay, and how does it work? Well, it's a 90-day program, and by the end of 90 days, they will lose weight. And if they go beyond that, right, they might say other results. They might say they'll be more confident, they will have more strength, right? They will have better mental focus, clarity. Okay. Now, what I want to be able to show you is this. Okay. So in terms of increase, I just wrote down a bunch of stuff, right? So it could be, you'll be able to increase your performance, speed, better mental strength, more confidence, muscle gain, right? More energy, more focus. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to think about what are the things that we listed down that's hard to measure. So put an answer in there. Okay, what do you think it is? Okay, mental, confidence, focus, confidence. Well, I said confidence earlier, but okay, mental, more energy levels, focus, performance, sleep quality, right? Confidence, sleep quality, all of the above, Johan. Johan, you're saying that it's hard to track muscle gain. It's hard to track improvements in speed. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so I put a few different things in here, right? Like mental, improvements in mental. Now, sometimes, like to track, right? Can a person, in fact, I wanted to highlight confidence and weight as well. I think I missed that out. When something's measurable and trackable, right, we must be able to link it with something. Okay, so if I was a fitness coach, I could say, by the time you train together with us, you will be able to improve your swing and drive 30 meters, further. And so now it'll be like, oh, okay, I can see this tangible thing, right? Rather than the initial answer of, you're going to be able to improve your golfing results, right? And by the way, so one of the things is you could say is, it's not necessarily the case that you're promising them a result, but rather there's this goal. Our goal by the end of this training, by the end of this program, by the end of this challenge, by the end of that weekend is to be able to do this, right? Now it's a lot more interesting. It makes a person go, oh, really? How would that work, right? Now this person would be asking questions and they're curious on, well, how would I be able to drive 30 meters, further after 6 months, right? There's that question in their mind. When you come from an angle of this is the goal and you make it tangible, right? This would be like, by the end of this, you'll be able to run 10 kilometers in under an hour, which isn't really that tough, but this is just an example, right? Or strength, you'll be able to increase your strength that's proportionate to your weight, so you'll be able to bench press your weight, right? So you notice, it's when you're presenting an offer, the average way of what most marketers do is, by the time you work together with us, you'll be able to increase your performance, strength, speed. And they go through it like it's nothing, right? But when you can link it with a tangible outcome, with a specific goal in mind, that picture is now embedded in their mind. So this is where I want you to think about, can I link that thing in my market to the tangible thing, right? So same thing with like energy, focus. Let's take sleep quality, because initially sleep quality, I was like, is sleep quality measurable? So what did I do? I went on Google and I typed, so how would you measure sleep quality, right? So there's all these things like sleep latency, sleep waking, wakefulness. Or you could go to ChatGPT and I say, could you give me 5 ways to measure and track sleep quality? So again, this is where AI can do the heavy lifting for you, right? So imagine if right now, it first begins with understanding your audience and coming from an angle of like, oh, I get that, right? It's like, by the end of this 30 days, 60 days, 1 year thing, I will see this noticeable difference in sleep. So rather than saying, when you work together with us, you'll be able to not just lose weight, but also improve other areas of your life, such as improving your sleep quality. Now, I know that seems a little bit much, but here's what we're going to do to help you reach that goal that is actually measurable. Number one, you're gonna be tracking your sleep, and you're gonna notice the time utilizing your REM sleep, which is your deep sleep state, is going to be significantly longer, which means the times that you actually wake up in the middle of the night is going to decrease as a result of doing this. So now, okay, I want you to notice what happened just by me saying that. What's the difference? The difference is, okay, why don't you guys tell me? Guys, let me know what's the difference between the first example of when you work together with us, you're gonna be able to see a noticeable difference in your sleep quality, versus when you work together with us, you're gonna have a noticeable sleep quality because this is what you'll notice, right? Deep sleep is gonna be significantly higher. You wake up less, you wake up feeling more energized. You're gonna see these. What's the difference? Okay, it becomes real, it's more relatable. There's a clear outcome, right? It's trackable. What else? There's one very important thing that I wanted you guys to see. Okay, and I want to see the answer. What else? It's achievable, it's more specific and believable. What else? It sets clear expectations. What else? There's one thing important, right? It solves the problem, it's measurable. Anybody can say, when you work together with us, you improve your sleep, right? It's literally anybody can say that. But it takes knowledge, expertise, experience to be able to say. And in order to achieve this, the process that we're going to utilize together is tracking of your REM sleep, which is how long you've been in deep sleep state in order to reach that goal, right? So when you show your audience that you can work towards that goal and how you're tracking it, it instantly positions you as an expert and an authority above and beyond everybody else, because it shows that you get it. You get maybe the problems they face, the struggles that they might have, and that there's a process in order to improve that thing, because, please write down, you can only improve what you're measuring, okay? And that is what you're demonstrating to your audience. So on this sheet, I would like you to expand on this. So let's say if it's not measurable, just put in hard to measure or not measurable for now, okay? So let's say confidence is not measurable. Okay, I'd like you to think about, if it is measurable, okay, what is the goal? Okay, so let's say the goal is to increase drive range by 20% in 3 months. Okay. And then I'd like you to just elaborate on, well, how are we going to do that, right? Is it through your technique, using your hips, whatever, right? The stack and tilt. Okay, so I tried playing golf. I took a grand total of 10 lessons my entire life. Didn't understand the game still. But again, so now we'll be like, oh, okay, I can see like how we're going to improve it, right? We are going to eliminate bad habits. So same thing here, right? So it's like strength. Our goal and our result and outcome is the measurable goal, right? Is to work towards to be able to bench press your weight, right? How we're going to do that is through compound movements, right? Looking at whatever, your diet, your technique, your form, stuff like that. Okay, so for the next 20 seconds, what I would like you guys to do is go put in what are the things that's measurable. What are we measuring? Can we put a number associated to it? So even if it's like radiant skin, just think about, well, can I make it tangible so that like noticeable, less noticeable acne, right? For example, right? How can we make it visual? Now, what we're going to do is, just based on this, we are going to rinse, repeat the process. And some of you should already have this. So now, I'd like you to think about the thing they hate doing or the thing that they want less of. Okay, so what does it decrease? What would you like your audience to see less of? So I'm going to give you guys some examples. I am going to put this up over here. Okay, so let's say back to this weight loss example. They might be seeing, right, this should give you guys some ideas. Less stress, less medical bills. You're going to save money in your food. You're going to decrease your body weight, your body fat. You're going to decrease your anxiety, your time prepping meals. You're going to decrease your workout time, right? So same thing with the example earlier. It would be like, you're going to decrease the amount of time that's required for you to walk into your business, right? So you no longer need to be in your practice, from 9 to 5, overlooking everything. So how are we going to decrease that? And if so, how are we measuring and tracking it for our audience? Okay, so which of these items are hard to measure? Okay, again, guys, let me know in the comments right now, based on this list, what do you think is hard to track or measure? The first thing that you see, or the top 1 to 3 things. What do you think is the complete things that is hard to track? Let me know in the comments. Okay, put it in the comments. Let's take a look. Stress and anxiety, anxiety, stress levels. I'm feeding ChatGPT with the teachings today. Anxiety, stress. Okay, so whenever in doubt, you can always ask Google, or better yet, ChatGPT. So I asked, Google, so how to measure stress levels? All right, heart rate, hormonal testing, stress trackers. Okay, so what if I said the first thing that we're going to work towards is we are going to work on, one of the things that you're going to also notice is that your stress levels is going to decrease. How do you know your stress levels would actually decrease? Because you will notice a noticeable difference in your blood pressure and your resting heart rate levels. Right now, if this is the area of fitness and weight loss, right, that would be a measurable thing. Again, what is it? When you do this, what does it demonstrate? It demonstrates you know what you're talking about. It demonstrates, please write this down. It demonstrates you have a game plan. It demonstrates you know what it is that you're doing. It demonstrates that you're not just going to teach them theory, you are goal orientated. You're about getting people results, and that's what people ultimately want, right? So I could rinse and repeat this entire thing, right? When you do this, you're going to notice that you're going to rely less on pills and drugs in your system, therefore reducing your medical bills, because you no longer need these stimulants, you no longer need these things to help you sleep, you no longer need these things to keep you awake, whatever it might be, right? Food expenses, right? You'll notice that by prepping these meals at home, these healthy meals, you'll actually save money each month, and you might notice a 20% reduction in your daily or your monthly household food expenses, right? We're gonna work towards reducing your body fat by whatever, so that our goal is to get you to 10%, right? Whatever it may be. So this is where anxiety, now maybe anxiety is like hard to track, right? Again, it depends on, but I'm sure, ChatGPT with the answer, but it's not necessarily about just feeding all in ChatGPT, but just thinking about how can I weave it into my offer so that now people can see this is the tangible outcome, right? You're going to say, right? So if let's say this is fitness, it could be like, you're also going to be able to reduce the amount of time it takes to prep your meals. It's going to give you more hours per day, because these are high intensity workouts. You just literally need 20 minutes a day and you're set. I'm not putting you on the treadmill for 2 hours, because, shorter, higher intensity workouts are actually way more productive than, 2-hour treadmill workouts. Right, so notice what I'm doing. I'm showing a person what they're going to get less of. Okay, so if you take a look at what most people do, right, you notice how today we are making it more tangible. We're showing somebody, here's how you can make it faster. We're showing them, here's how we can get progress. We're showing them, here's how we can reduce the likelihood of failure, right? Because the fact that we've stated that these are all of our results and this is the goal and how we're tracking it, now it doesn't feel like, oh, this person is just selling me a thing where the goal is to lose weight, right? It's coming from being more strength. It's going to improve my performance. It's going to give each one of them is linked to some sort of tangible thing. So in other words, you'll notice that when you're clear about this, again, this is where you can utilize this messaging on your ads, use them as hooks. You can use them in your sales video, in your webinar, in your pitch, in your presentation, in your social media post, right? And now it's significantly more powerful than, oh, you're going to get this result, because that's what everybody else is saying. Oh, you're going to lose weight, right? But what does that actually mean? Okay. So next piece of the puzzle is go ahead and go to this right now and write down what is it going to help them decrease, right? Levels, it's going to decrease anxiety, right? Think about Is it trackable or non-trackable? So let's say anxiety is like hard to track, right? So it's maybe not trackable. It's okay. Just leave it there for now. Okay. It's going to help you decrease, time spent in the office. How? Right. So this would be like, one extra day off a week, right? Or having systems and process in place, right? Think about how are we going to now have this tangible result that helps them get rid of this thing they dislike, to decrease that thing, but again, to think about how are we measuring and tracking it. So based on this, right, how do we integrate it into something that's tangible and practical? It is when now, imagine our offer. But ultimately, it's all about presenting the offer. Like some of you guys are still at the offer stage, and that's okay. Not knowing how to sell just that. But remember, it's not about, I'm going to sell them a book. I'm going to sell them a supplement. I'm going to sell them a course, a training, a mastermind, right? It is about now, if this is all different results, how does this become part of my offer to help them fulfill or at least, work towards this result?
Well, I hope you enjoyed the behind the scenes to this coaching call. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below what your biggest takeaway is. And as always, be sure to smash the like button. It does help the channel out a little bit. And to subscribe to this channel if you want to be notified of future videos just like this one. Now, some of you asking me, how can I be part of this process? How can I ask you questions? How can I have you coach me or mentor me? We want to make sure that we are working with the people that's the right fit. You'll need to fill up a form. There's a link right below this video. Somebody on my team might give you a call to interview you to see if they're right fit for each other. And if you want to apply and see if you're a good fit, then all you need to do is click on this link in the description box below and my team will be in touch with you.